Namaste, Dhanyavad Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble Dhanyavad Pranam to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, and following the guidance of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we are praying to Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Yadi sevā-vañcitāḥ yasyāḥ kṛpayā vayaṃ labhema sarvaṃ prāpnumaḥ prayojanaṃ dhāmni śrī-bhagavat pade Kṛṣṇa-sambandhi sarvaṃ ca Yadi jānīmahe tutam Aṣṭādaśasu sahasreṣu ślokānāṃ bhāgavat-oktiṣu Rādhārānīṃ vindāmaḥ tada nishphalam bhagavata-dhyayanam radhikaya kripam vina vyartasyat sarva-pariśramaḥ. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Rādhārānīṃ within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Srimad Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Śrīmatī Rādhārānīṃ, all our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing our reading today. From Canto 6, Chapter 1, Text 42. Suryogni kamarudeva somasandhyani somasandhya hani disha kam kusvayam dharma iti hyete dahyasya sakshina. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and supersoul himself all witness the activities of the living entity. Purport. The members of some religious sects, especially Christians, do not believe in the reactions of karma. We once had a discussion with a learned Christian professor who argued that although people are generally punished after the witnesses of their misdeeds are examined, where are the witnesses responsible for one's suffering the reactions of past karma? To such a person, the answer by the Yamadutas is given here. A conditioned soul thinks that he is working stealthily and that no one can see his sinful activities. But we can understand from the Shastras that there are many witnesses, including the sun, fire, sky, air, moon, demigods, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and the Supersoul himself, who sits with the individual soul within his heart. Where is the dearth of witnesses? The witnesses and the Supreme Lord both exist, and therefore so many living entities are elevated to higher planetary systems or degraded to lower planetary systems, including the hellish planets. There are no discrepancies, for everything is arranged perfectly by the management of the Supreme God. Svabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. The witnesses mentioned in this verse are also mentioned in other Vedic literatures. Aditya Chandrav Anino Nalascha Jar Bhumir Apo Hridayam Yamascha Ahascharatrischa Ubhecha Sandhye Dharmopi Janati Narasya Vritam. Text 43. Etar adharmo vigyata stanham dandhasya yujate sarve karmanurudena dandham arhanti karina. The candidates for punishment are those who are confirmed by these many witnesses to have deviated from their prescribed regulative duties. Everyone engaged in fruitive activities is suitable to be subjected to punishment according to his sinful acts. 44. Sambhavanti bhadrani viparitani channaga karinam guna shangosti dehavanahya karmakrit. O inhabitants of Vaikuntha, you are sinless, but those within this material world are all karmis, whether acting piously or impiously. Both kinds of action are possible for them because they are contaminated by the three modes of nature and must act accordingly. One who has accepted a material body cannot be inactive, and sinful action is inevitable for one acting under the modes of material nature. Therefore, all the living entities within this material world are punishable. Purport. The difference between human beings and non-human beings is that a human is supposed to act according to the direction of the Vedas. Unfortunately, men manufacture their own ways of acting without reference to the Vedas. Therefore, all of them commit sinful actions and are punishable. Text 45. Yenhaya vanyata dharmo dharmo veha samihita sa eva tat phalam bhungte tathatavad amutravai. In proportion to the extent of one's religious or irreligious actions in this life, one must enjoy or suffer the corresponding reactions of his karma in the next. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 14.18, Urdhvam gachanti sattvasta madhye tishtanti rajasa jaghanya guna vritti sta adho gachanti tamasa. Those who act in the mode of goodness are promoted to higher planetary systems to become demigods. Those who act in an ordinary way and do not commit excessively sinful acts remain within this middle planetary system. And those who perform abominable sinful actions must go down to hellish life. Text 46. Yateha deva prabharas trividyam upalabhyate bhuteshu guna vaichityat tatanyatran umiyate. O best of the demigods, we can see three different varieties of life, which are due to the contamination of the three modes of nature. The living entities are thus known as peaceful, restless, and foolish, as happy, unhappy, or in between, or as religious, irreligious, and semi-religious. We can deduce that in the next life, these three kinds of material nature will similarly act. Purport. The actions and reactions of the three modes of material nature are visible in this life. For example, some people are very happy, some are very distressed, and some are mixed happiness and distress. This is a result of past association with the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Since those varieties are visible in this life, we may assume that the living entities, according to their association with the different modes of material nature, will be happy, distressed, or in between the two in their next lives also. Therefore, the best policy is to disassociate oneself from the three modes of material nature and be always transcendental to their contamination. This is possible only when one fully engages in the devotional service of the Lord. as Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Mamchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down under any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the spiritual platform. Unless one is fully absorbed in the service of the Lord, one is subject to the contamination of the three modes of material nature and must therefore suffer from distress or mixed happiness and distress. (47) Vartamano nyayo kalo gunabhigyapako yata evam janman yayor etad dharma dharma adharma nidarshanam. Just as springtime in the present indicates the nature of springtimes in the past and future, so this life of happiness, distress, or a mixture of both gives evidence concerning the religious and irreligious activities of one's past and future lives. Purport. Our past and future are not very difficult to understand, for time is under the contamination of the three modes of material nature. As soon as spring arrives, the usual exhibition of various types of fruits and flowers automatically becomes manifest, and therefore we may conclude that spring in the past was adorned with similar fruits and flowers and will be so adorned in the future. Our repetition of birth and death is taking place within time, according to the influence of the modes of nature. We are receiving various types of bodies and being subjected to various conditions. Text 48. Manashaiva pure deva purvarupam vipasyati anumimamshate purvam manasa bhagavan aja. The omnipotent Yamaraj is as good as Lord Brahma, for while situated in his own abode or in everyone's heart, like the Paramatma, he mentally observes the past activities of a living entity, and thus understands how the living entity will act in future lives. Purport. One should not consider Yamaraj an ordinary living entity, a living being. He is as good as Lord Brahma. He has the complete cooperation of the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, and therefore, by the grace of the Supersoul, he can see the past, present, and future of a living being from within. The word anumimamshate means that he can decide in consultation with the Supersoul. Anu means following. The actual decisions concerning the next lives of the living entities are made by the Supersoul, and they are carried out by Yamaraj. Text 49. Yatagyas tamasa yukta upashte vyaktam evahi naveda purvam aparam nasta janma smritistata. As a sleeping person acts according to the body manifested in his dreams and accepts it to be himself, so one identifies with this present body by which he acquired because of his past religious or irreligious actions, and is unable to know his past or future lives. Purport. A man engages in sinful activities because he does not know what he did in his past life to get his present materially conditioned body, which is subjected to the threefold miseries. As stated by Rishabhdev in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.4, Nunham pramata kurute vikarma. A human being who is mad after sense gratification does not hesitate to act sinfully. Yad indriya prataya apranoti. He performs sinful actions simply for sense gratification. Nasadu manye. This is not good. Yatha atmano yam asanapi kleshada asadeha. Because of such sinful actions, one receives another body in which to suffer as he is suffering in his present body because of his past sinful activities. It should be understood that a person who does not have Vedic knowledge always acts in ignorance of what he has done in the past, what he is doing at the present, and how he will suffer in the future. He is completely in darkness. Therefore, the Vedic injunction is tamasi ma. Don't remain in darkness. Jyotir gama. Try to go to the light. The light or illumination is Vedic knowledge, which one can understand when he is elevated to the mode of goodness, or when he transcends the mode of goodness by engaging in devotional service to the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord. This is described in the Svetasvatra Upanishad 6.23. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyaite katita hyarta prakashante mahatmana. Unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. Ata Shri Kṛṣṇa-sambandhi na bhaved grayam indriyai sevā-vañcitāḥ jivhado svayam eva svaratyada. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Bhagavad Gita 18.55. These are the Vedic instructions. One must have full faith in the words of the spiritual master and similar faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the real knowledge of Atma and Paramatma and the distinction between matter and spirit will be automatically revealed. This Atma Tattva, or spiritual knowledge, will be revealed within the core of a devotee's heart because of his having taken shelter of the lotus feet of a Mahajan such as Prahlad Maharaj. Unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. The Vedas enjoin tad vigyartam sagurum eva bigachat. Tad vigyartam sagurum eva bigachat samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. To understand these things properly, one must humbly approach with firewood in hand a spiritual master who is learned in the Vedas and firmly devoted to the absolute truth. Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.12. One must approach a spiritual master who has full knowledge of the Vedas and be faithfully directed by him in order to become a devotee of the Lord. Then the knowledge of the Vedas will be revealed. When the Vedic knowledge is revealed, one need no longer remain in the darkness of material nature. According to his association with the material modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, a living entity gets a particular type of body. The example of one who associates with the mode of goodness is a qualified brahmana. Such a brahmana knows past, present, and future because he consults the Vedic literature and sees through the eyes of Shastra, Chakshu. He can understand what his past life was, why he is in the present body, and how he can obtain liberation from the clutches of Maya and not accept another material body. This is all possible when one is situated in the mode of goodness. Generally, however, the living entities are engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. In any case, one receives an inferior or superior body at the discretion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, as stated in the previous verse. Manashayava pure deva purva rupam vipasyati anu mimam shate purvam manasa bhagavan-naja. Everything depends on Bhagavan or Aja, the unborn. Why doesn't one please Bhagavan to receive a better body? The answer is agyastamasa, because of gross ignorance. One who is in complete darkness cannot know what his past life was or what his next life will be. He is simply interested in his present body. Even though he has a human body, a person in the mode of ignorance and interested only in his present body is like an animal, for an animal being covered by ignorance thinks that the ultimate goal of life and happiness is to eat as much as possible. A human being must be educated to understand his past life and how he can endeavor for a better life in the future. There is even a book called Bhrigu Samhita, which reveals information about one's past, present, and future lives according to astrological calculations. Somehow or other, one must be enlightened about his past, present, and future. One who is interested only in his present body and who tries to enjoy his senses to the fullest extent is understood to be engrossed in the mode of ignorance. His future is very, very dark. Indeed, the future is always dark for one who is grossly covered by ignorance. Especially in this age, human society is covered by the mode of ignorance, and therefore everyone thinks his present body to be everything, without consideration of the past or future. So thus ends our reading for today. We will continue from text 50 on Friday.
How timely these passages were.
Yeah.
Last night's the conversations we were having last night, isn't that? That's amazing.
I was a little surprised to see Prabhupada say in that purport that one should understand their past, present, and future. And then he gave that text, Bhrigu Samhita, because in other places, Srila Prabhupada emphasizes someone drowning in the ocean shouldn't try to recall how they ended up drowning in the ocean. They should just figure out how to get out. So for someone drowning in the ocean of material existence and material suffering, it's not very useful to figure out how you got there. Rather, just be concerned with how to get out from that predicament. So, I mean, there's scope for everything. So perhaps in some unique circumstances, someone has to know something about how they got into the mess in the first place so they can be wary about not getting into it again.
That's what I was thinking.
First
save yourself. Get out and then reflect.
Yeah.
Don't try to figure it out while you're drowning.
Yeah.
Get out, then you can reflect.
Because the thing is, it could be endless searching for all those nuances of how you got into this predicament. anyhow, Krishna is revealing our intelligence. He says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. He reveals, according to our sincerity, he reveals that intelligence, how we can come to him, and meaning that inspiration that we get, what is necessary, what isn't necessary, and where we draw that line. He reveals that intelligence inside of us according to our sincerity, and of course externally through the guidance that we receive from our spiritual teachers. And so our actions are based on whatever we are sincerely inspired to do internally, and how we can harmonize that with the instructions and guidance of our teachers. And then we have to see where we are after that, and then we may have to adjust. Maybe we have to worry less about our inner inspiration because we're still not oriented properly, so we're kind of self-deluding ourselves, and we need to take more guidance from our spiritual teachers. And sometimes maybe we're neglecting that inner guidance, which is meant to complement what the spiritual teacher is saying. So we have to give more attention than we were previously to that inner guidance until we can find a harmony. So it's a back and forth process. Definitely we have to try to be self-aware and attentive and not lazy, and just be coming from a sincere place. So nice things to reflect on this morning.
Yes.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Tirtha Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
Glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the worldwide devotees. Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Sham Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Nitai Gora Premanandi Hari 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 Bo. Jai Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī Devi Dasi Ki Jai.
Jai Krishna Kesava Das Ki Jai.
Jai Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.